Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a beginning of the month for the month of May tarot oracle reading. And Capricorn, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Capricorn, we all have a little bit of Capricorn in us. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Capricorn in? That might give you further clarity as to where this shows up for you. This is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, we're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is representing the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. This is the element of air, represented by the swords. It's talking about your mental intelligence and discipline of your mind. Basically your thoughts and how you express them through words, written or verbal. And so this is talking about a reward coming in from God. It's an ace. It's like brand new energy. Collaborating with the universe and bringing the truth in to empower you to make strong choices. And then we have, for the internal forces, we have the Eight of Swords. And so the Eight of Swords is talking about someone who feels like it's representing a mental prison. And this person's having trouble deciding what to do. It's almost like they're frozen. And this stuck energy is representing, like, you know, all the binding around them is talking about feeling duty bound to something, and it's preventing them from being able to make maybe the right choice. They don't know. The blindfold represents they don't know what to do. That this energy is confusion and overthinking, that type of energy. At one point, I feel there was more water here. The water in tarot represents emotion. And the right foot is forward and it's on dry land, but the left foot is still in a puddle here. And so that represents that they want to move forward, but they're still being held back by a little bit of emotion. And you know, all these swords are behind. I feel that she has made 7 decisions, like here, and those ones are behind her. She just has this one left here, so she is getting ready to make a move, and she's decided, okay, I'm going to move in this direction. The swords behind her can also represent thoughts being directed behind her back. And you notice she has her back to the castle here. So there could be some sort of energy about, you know, a choice to leave something behind, that type of energy. We have the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is representing, well, the pentacles, first and foremost, are representing health, wealth, and happiness. So pentacles in the tarot, you know, are represented by coin. Now, that's because money, of course, is really important in the 3D world. But having said that, you could have all the money in the world and not be living the lifestyle that you want. So this goes further and talks about lifestyle. And she's got her hand on 6 pentacles here, and then she's got 3 behind her. And so this 6 pentacles here, it's like a ratio. And this card always reminds me of Nikola Tesla, the famous inventor and genius. He would say, if you knew the beauty of the 369, then you would have the key to the universe. And that's that. We have 3 here and 6 here. So it's basically saying that she keeps her hand on 2/3 of what she has. She makes sure that she keeps that for herself so that she can pay her bills, you know, pay mortgage payment, all of those things, and then maybe have a little bit left over for emergencies. There's 3 coins over here. Maybe one of these is something that she wants to invest in that's a little more risky. Maybe another one here is charity. and perhaps saving up for a vacation for the family, that type of energy. The falcon represents that foresight to be able to know how much to keep for yourself, how much are you going to invest in others, who are you going to invest in, what are you going to invest in, is it a fair exchange of energy, what do you anticipate the return being. It's learning the give and take basically of life, and in particular of finances and your lifestyle. This energy is also pre-Empress energy, meaning that in the tarot, in the major arcana, the Empress represents someone who has all the energies, all the qualities of the four queens put together in the minor arcana. So it's talking about this person is coming very close to that Empress energy because they've learned a lot already, and maybe sometimes the hard way, but this is talking about how you feel about yourself right now and your self-image. So you're feeling super strong, Capricorn, and the Pentacle energy is, right up your alley. The Capricorn energy is the most mature of all the signs for the element of Earth. And then we have here the Emperor energy. So this is really interesting because we've got someone who's almost an Empress energy, and then this is how you feel for your abundance. So that's really, like, you feel like you're the Empress and the Emperor combined pretty much when it comes to abundance. So that's pretty cool. Perhaps that's happening in your life. Maybe you and the Emperor are together. Maybe you're a couple. But this is talking about your internal forces. Your internal forces are what you have control over. And so the internal forces are like the what ifs. What if I do this and they do that? What if they do that and I have to do this? It's that type of energy, the woulda, shoulda, couldas of life. And you're feeling like you're definitely like the abundance-wise, that you have the abundance of the Emperor as well as feeling like the Empress. So that's pretty cool. So this is the performance. Performance is that's what the Emperor is all about. He's actually wearing his armor underneath his robe because he's ready at a moment's notice to be able to grab any opportunity. If he has to put up a fight for something, he will. Whatever he has to do, he's ready, and is known for being that way. Like whatever profession he's in, he's at the top of the game, at the top of his game. And so this is talking about being very abundant, and this is really powerful energy. Except then we've got this guy. And the devil is, it's temptation. But what's interesting is Capricorn energy is ruled by Saturn, and so is the devil ruled by Saturn. And so this energy, the devil, is about temptation. We have two lovers here. They're yoked to each other, and then they're chained to Saturn's box. And the devil is crouched over them. And this is representing like animal instinct, basic animal instinct. So it's basically saying that these lovers it's more based on lust than in love. And this can represent being tempted to be with a lover. And I don't know exactly, we don't have the rest of the energy here. So there's some sort of temptation to do something coming in. This is an internal force, and this is communication from your early life. So that's kind of interesting. How were you raised? Like, that's what I want to know. When the devil energy comes up, the temptation, it's that's what it's representing basically. But you're not going to get the truth from the devil. The devil's very manipulative, and will offer you what you want at any given time to gain control over you. And it's interesting because the Emperor can be very controlling. So it's kind of an interesting energy here. I'm going to cover the devil, I always do, when he comes up, because he always sends in a minion to do his bidding. And I want to see, who does he set in? What is it about? Does God cover it? What's going on here? We have justice. Okay. So there's some sort of justice coming in. So basically that's meaning that if you were tempted, now there's going to be justice brought into that situation. So when justice is coming in, this is coming in from the spiritual realm, and it comes down into earth. So it's interesting because if you look at this energy, her right foot is forward and so is hers. And then she's got her right hand up with this sword, I feel. Interesting. So this is your internal forces wanting justice about a situation that has left you like this. Okay. So I don't know if this can represent an energy of, justice is coming in from the spiritual realm, and it's bringing it down to earth. Now, this is really clear though, because it's like this. It almost looks like this figure has stepped forward, grabbed this sword, cut off the bindings, and said, "To hell with," literally, "to hell with this. I'm not standing here like this anymore." And it has her sword up, and she's ready to get justice. And so this is your internal forces wanting justice over a situation where there was some sort of temptation regarding a lover. Now, is that like, were you tempted? This is early communication in life. So I'm not sure, we don't know yet what it is, but you're wanting justice for a situation that happened that is regarding justice. Now, that could be, it's hard to say, is this partner here? Are you a couple here? This is representing your internal forces. Are you a couple and your partner was tempted to be with someone else and you want justice because of what happened? Were you with someone else and they want justice to see what happened? Or does is it an energy outside of you? The person, so we don't know as of yet here. But something's going on regarding temptation and wanting justice. And that's coming from when you were younger as well. And basically, I feel like what that means is that you understand, you were taught good from bad, right from wrong, that type of energy. Children know very early in life what's right and what's wrong, what's good and what's bad. It's one of the first things that we learn. Don't touch, don't know, to keep a toddler safe. So this energy here is talking about, there's 9 cups here, and there's 10 available. Cups in tarot represent love. And, this is having an abundance of love. And it's talking, this person, it's talking about being on display, basically, on a stage. So you might be a public figure, your partner might be a public figure, both of you could be public figures. This could just be you with both those qualities. It's hard to say as of yet. And but one thing that's happening is this is kind of like something that you've been really wishing for, but you don't have it yet. It's saying there's the way this person is sitting, their feet are turned outwards, so they're leaking energy, and from the bottom. But at on the upper body, the arms are almost making the symbol of an infinity symbol. And this person, it's all these cups of all the possibilities of love that this is saying highly favored to receive this, but on stage in a public way. So you could be a public figure. If this is representing your partner, could also be a public figure. You both could be, or one of you could be that type of energy. Have public platforms, that type of energy. And we have these cups. Are they behind you on a shelf? Are they above your head in the now? Or is this coming up in the future? Basically, though, what this card is saying is you're highly favored to receive all this love that you want. You have to stay focused. You have to stay in the game. Many a race is lost in the last lap. So this could be saying, don't give in to, you don't want to get, like, you don't want to give in to the temptation, and maybe you are tempted to be in a relationship with another lover when you're already in a relationship, or that kind of energy is affecting your relationships all the time, that type of energy. And then we have, and so that's how your emotional foundation, and then this is your romance and creativity and children. So this is a card of victory. It's saying the wands are representing the element of fire, and fire is and the passion. And so this is talking about oh, here we have it. So this is victory. So I feel like what this is saying is you're tempted to buy something, and it's been a real fight within you, but you're highly favored to have all the love that you want in the relationship you're in. And here it's talking about you have victory, and the victory comes because you rein in your emotions, you discipline your mind, you become a leader, and you do what's, like you're proud of yourself. You and the people around you, they might be a little bit disgruntled, but they have to admit that you showed leadership here and move forward. So there's something going on here, and it could be quite public, where there was some sort of temptation or whatever, and you come out of this battle. Now, this could be like a sporting event, and you're the leader of the team or whatever, and it's showing your leadership qualities, and other people saying, okay, now that's a leader. They didn't give in to the temptation. They didn't, they didn't cave, basically. This is someone who we can rely on, that type of energy. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles energy, the pages would work for the king and queen when they were younger. So this represents like a youthful energy. In the tarot, this would always be a male, but it could be female now. Any of the figures in tarot are archetypes. So the female figures can be, this is representing feminine energy. So this could be a female in her feminine energy, or a male in his feminine energy. And as well, the Emperor could be a female in her masculine energy, as well as a male in their masculine energy. But this energy of the Emperor is a very alpha male energy. So if this is a woman, she would be very masculine, like that, in her most masculine energy. So this is talking about some sort of communication coming in. The pages would work for the king and the queen and deliver messages. So this is talking about communication coming in, and it's also regarding the pentacle. So this page is really studying this pentacle, trying to figure out, okay, how can I have the best lifestyle? And you think about that, like these, the pages would work like as early as from 7 to 14. You have to remember, back in those days, the life expectancy was about half of what we have now. So they would start working really young. And you can imagine if they were coming from surrounding families, and then they were placed in this environment of the opulence of royalty, it would change the way you think after that. So there might be something to do with that. And because this is daily routine schedule, and that you might have been in a home where, like, maybe your parents were really public figures, and maybe even high up in the government, or they were famous actors or actresses, something like that. So I feel like your parents were in the public eye, and maybe this is representing your parents and the energy as you were growing up. Because this is talking about your emotional foundation when you were young, and this is talking about, your emotional foundation. So it's interesting because this is all internal forces. Now, the internal forces you have control over. Let's take a look at the external forces and see what's happening with this energy here. This is a really interesting reading. So from the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Wands. All right, so the King of Wands is talking about an external force coming in. And the King of Wands is one of the four kings. This is talking about an energy of having, his element is the wand. And so this is about a lot of passion and action. He's a visionary. He likes to tackle new projects, and it's that energy. Sometimes when we already have the Emperor here, this energy can be talking about, different, I remember I said that the Emperor has all four kings, the qualities of all four kings. This could be talking about him in this quality here. The King of Wands is considered the sexiest of all the kings. He's, really the life of the party kind of energy. Someone who people really enjoy. He's charismatic and a forward thinker. And so he's optimistic and fun to be around. He's all like, but he's considered the sexiest king. And, sometimes his love for passion and new adventures and dealing with new energy. Like he likes to tackle a project, finish it, tackle another project, and quite often his mind, like he's always looking for something new. In the back on this throne are there's a salamander running here, and then there's these salamanders chasing their tail with the lion, and that represents protection from fire because that's his element. He's very fiery, and I noticed a while back that it almost looks like there's a face here and there's two eyes. There's a mustache with smoke coming out of the nose and the mouth. And this energy could be just like, yeah, he's smoking hot. Or sometimes it can represent where there's smoke, there's fire. And he, of all the kings, is the one that would be settling down the last. This is someone who, as much as he loves new adventure and tackling new projects, that sometimes bleeds into his romantic life. So of all the kings, he's the most likely to be playing the field, the last one to settle down and get married kind of energy, if he ever does. It's an energy of, a lot of, where there's smoke, there's fire. So keeping that in mind, this could be saying that this is maybe affected your parents' relationship and perhaps your own, and that it was always kind of a factor that there was always this temptation of romance outside the marriage, outside the relationship, that type of energy. Interesting. So we have, a lot of competition. And this is really interesting because this is talking about, this is my Mean Girls card, and this is talking about immature competition. Think about narcissistic cheerleaders at a competition, and it's they're at a competition and they're watching the other team, and they can see, hey, that other team is better than us, but we want to win anyway. And so they're trying to do their best, whatever they have to do, they'll do it. To win, whether that be trip one of the other girls so that she can't perform for the final or whatever it is, some sort of energy around that. And if they don't succeed, then their mothers will, by pulling strings behind the scenes. So it's that kind of energy where you're looking at, there's a lot of competition all the time. And this is in the position for your external forces. This is in the position of your partnerships, commitments, and marriage. So this could be saying that you have, if you're a king, there could be, and you're the sexy king, you could have a lot of people vying for your attention here. And so there's a lot of that type of energy here. And so there's a lot of temptation all the time. and people competing for your attention, competing for you. That type of energy. Interesting. What a different reading. And then we have the hangman energy. So the hangman is hanging there from the tree of knowledge because he wants to have balance in his life. He's hanging there, and he's, the reason he's hanging upside down is he wants to gain a new perspective on life. And so eventually, if this king does settle down, it's usually, later. And maybe that's what he's contemplating now. Maybe I want to have balance here. Maybe I do want to settle down with one person, and that type of energy. So that's kind of interesting. The aura lights up, and then that's when he takes action. And this is in the position of transition, some sort of major transition coming in your life. And then we have conception. Oh, perhaps a baby's been conceived somewhere here. This represents an action being taken. And, you think about this, the Sagittarius energy, the centaur, and they're shooting their arrows, tung, 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 into the sky, and to hit the target. And this is saying something has been launched and it's landing. And sometimes this can actually represent conception of a baby. This is in your higher learning. So perhaps someone got pregnant, and so now you're settling down with them. And I'm talking about later in life, not like they might be younger, but you're definitely, you've been around the block a few times kind of energy with all this competition here. That's kind of an interesting energy. And then we have, look at this, we have the Ten of Cups. And so this is what this is talking about. Maybe you're someone that, you've been busy with your career and everything, and you've always had a lot of attention, and there's been no problem dating, that type of energy. And now you maybe met someone and we're having a relationship, and maybe it could be possible that they're pregnant, and you're thinking, maybe I guess I'm going to settle down and have a family if that's the case. And, that's that one last 10th cup of love. And you're finding, well, maybe this is what I really want. I'll give it a try. Haven't been there, done that before, that type of energy. So, this is talking about having all the love that you can have, like in your career, in your home, where you live, your clients, and then having that special someone and starting a family with them. Really, really good energy here. So this is talking about now you're in a position of, you've met that special someone, or and they might possibly be pregnant. And so that's kind of been a bit of a driving force for you. Okay, I guess I'm getting married. That type of energy. Never thought I would, but I guess I'm going to be. And so this is talking about having ultimate fulfillment in a perfectly imperfect world. So it's that type of energy. And then we have the Page of Swords. So this is talking about, okay, this is in career and reputation. So yeah, I guess if you're, approaching whatever age, whatever that is, that maturity level, and you've been really focused on your career and that type of energy, and you're a well-known figure, a lot of people would just think, well, of course that's, eventually that's what happens. People get married, they have children, they start a family, that type of energy. And this is talking about blessings coming in. And so the Page of Swords, his element is the element of air, and also of, the thought and that kind of energy. And this can be a breath of fresh air. This can be like, everybody's like, wow, I can't believe this person's actually getting married. That type of energy. They've been a bachelor or a bachelorette forever, that type of energy. This is a breath of fresh air. We've never seen this before. Or they're thinking about it. And it doesn't have to be that there's a baby there, but there's a conception of something, like something's been launched and it's already happening. It's that type of energy. This is talking about, this person knows what the question is. So they have the logical question, but they don't necessarily have the answer as of yet. And so they're looking away from this element. They're the only page that looks away from the element, because they're thinking outside the box, and they want to get like an idea of a creative solution to this, to a problem, basically. And so this is saying they understand that the sword is double-edged, and you need to use your intuition and your logic to have creative solutions. And so there could be something that came up, and it's like, okay, I have, this person maybe knows how they are. All my life I've been like in this energy here, and I've wanted to stay single because I know that about myself. But maybe now I've met someone that I really do want to settle down with, and maybe I'm ready to change that, do my best to do that. It's a breath of fresh air. It's a discipline of the mind, basically, deciding, okay, how am I going to do this? And this is blessings coming in. And then we have the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is representing another communication coming in. And I don't remember if I mentioned this. Like in the old days, the communication would always be in person. So a lot of people, when they're, watching a tarot reading or that, I used to think that, oh, someone's going to come and knock on the door. It has to be someone showing up. But this can actually represent all sorts of communication. Like in the old days, this was the only way they had of long distance communication. But this could be someone contacting you, this could be a phone call, a text message. This could be an email, maybe something that arrives in the mail, in the post, package documents, that type of energy, an invitation. It could also represent an energy of on social media, being messaged there or seen something there, and there's an event, and then you go to that event, and maybe you bump into someone, and then that's where you meet, and then all of this energy comes out of it. It can be that type of energy, and it could be like maybe the King of Wands energy. That's the energy the Emperor you're in is thinking, wow, like I've never felt this way about someone. This is a breath of fresh air. I think I'm going to consider, this relationship, taking it to the new level. And this can be like maybe you meet, and then it moves on from there. You meet at an event or some sort of energy like that, and then also it's really good if you're just looking for communication and information in general to be able to move forward on something. It's a good idea to pay attention what's going on at the top of the pyramid, just even 5 minutes a day, just so you understand what's going on, and you can move forward. Now this energy, the Knight of Wands, is, he's got a big plume on the back of his head, a big red plume. This is saying that he knows he's fiery. And this is very Sagittarius energy. It's kind of like fire and adventure, moving forward with passion, liking knowledge for the sake of it, like just enjoying the mysteries of the world. The horse is representing, like in matters of love, passion, and heartfelt energy. And so this is talking about the rebel with a cause, moving forward with a cause, and maybe feeling a little bit rebellious. And so this is, though, that he has learned not to take impulsive actions, and to rein his emotions in and discipline his mind, so that when he does take action, it's in the direction he wants. Maybe in the past he's been like, a little bit more, lose the temper really easily, fired up, that type of energy. And this is also very close to the energy that we moved into on February 17th. We had the Chinese New Year, and we moved into the energy of the fiery horse energy. So this is talking about that type of energy. And the fiery horse energy is very, very similar to the Sagittarius energy. It's talking about, and the Sagittarius energy is the centaur that has the bow and arrows, and he shoots into the sky to land his goal. So it's that type of energy. So this is talking about some sort of communication or message or information coming in, and feeling like, okay, I have to rein in my emotions and control. I don't want to be too impulsive. I've got to make sure that I'm making the right choices. In the fire horse energy, what it's also saying is, because they're almost identical, but it's saying in the year of the fiery horse energy, which we're going to be in until February 6th of 2027, it's not good to make impulsive decisions. You want to make sure that you control those emotions and rein yourself in. And it's also saying, like, and control your anger, if any energy like that. And also it can be talking about, this is energy wants to set very high goals. And so if you're setting high goals, just make sure you give yourself enough time to be able to get it done. Because you can, this is really easy burnout energy where you set your goals so high but not enough time to do them. So it's a warning against that, like burning the candle at both ends, being, because that's a huge change, right? If you go from being single and you've been single for a long time and now all of a sudden you're considering taking a relationship to a commitment level, possibly marriage, that would be, and maybe thinking about having children or a baby's already on the way. It can be that type of energy. And so the whole reading is kind of about that desire to have your freedom, but at the same time to have that other part that you want. And so it's kind of, maybe you haven't been in this position where you have met someone that you would be willing to settle down with, and now you are. And so that's a really good, it's a good feeling to have, probably very scary in some ways. The energy here, I guess, we have a full moon tonight. The full moon is in Scorpio. It's a very, Scorpio energy is like dramatic and deep, and it's Scorpio energy is, the Pluto energy is coming in, and on May 6th, Pluto is going retrograde, and it's going into the sign of Aquarius, and that can cause a bit of confusion. It can make problems seem bigger than they really are. It's a great time to do research. So it's saying, do your research before you take action. Make sure this is what you really want. And it's about power, having power over your situation, having power over your mind, but it tends to magnify problems. So be aware of that energy. And we also have Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini, and that happened on the 25th of April. So that energy is, we're really seeing that around the world right now. So Uranus and Gemini, bottom line, like if you want to know more about that, you can look back at the last reading I did for you. But Uranus and Gemini, the last time Uranus was in Gemini was from 1941 to 1949. It's about a 7 or 8 year cycle. And it's talking about, that was when World War II was happening. So we have a lot of that energy, but bottom line with the Gemini, with Uranus and Gemini, is the truth comes out. And this is like, we're going to be sitting in this energy till 2033. So this is talking about, we're going to get a daily dose of truth at the top of the, a pyramid, and that's, we're going to have that in our own lives. A lot of truths coming out about the way the world really works, about, how systems are working, the behind the scenes information. And also Saturn, which rules the sign of Capricorn, that Saturn energy is in Aries for the next 2.5 to 3 years. So that energy is like ruled by Mars, and you think about a newborn baby and everything they're learning and wanting new. So this could be representing what's kind of pushing you towards that new energy and going, okay, well, maybe I'll give this a go kind of energy. And hey, maybe you'll really love it, and you're ready for it. That's a secret. Like with the, if you're in this energy, you don't want to force yourself to be in a relationship when that, just because everybody wants you to be. It's got to be a decision that you make yourself, you know, a commitment like that. So it's good that you know that about yourself and you're putting thought into it. I think that's a really good idea. So this, congratulations, like it feels like really good energy. So, you know, it's exciting but scary, I would imagine. All right, I'm going to clarify. For those of you that are leaving the reading now, thank you for your time and energy. Really appreciate it. Give this a like and comment, please, if you have enjoyed it. It does help me to build my channel. And if you consider subscribing, I would be honored. You're more than welcome. Okay, with that, I'm using my Oracle, and this is Tales from the Vector. And I started this back in 2007, and I've completed it in 2020, the 64th painting. I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com, and that website, I have the paintings all in the gallery, and these paintings, these are the numbers that they're listed in the gallery. So in the description box below, I'm going to put the order that they appear here, and then if you want to take a look at it and see, sometimes they say a painting paints 1,000 words. It might give you further clarity as to your situation. This card comes out a lot out of my Oracle. This is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. So this is transition. Definitely, this is talking. The truth is, this is a gift from God. This is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. There's going to be a major transition in your life at this time. We have the Empress energy. Isn't that interesting? So if you're the Emperor energy, this is maybe talking about feeling like you found your Empress. And that's a decision. It's a hard decision to make. The internal forces are saying, you know how you are. You know that you have a tendency to want to, you know, be free. But can you really handle it? And the thing that's interesting is the Empress energy. The Empress is said to be pregnant with possibility. And so we have this pregnancy thing coming up again. And I feel like that might be a driving force. We have use your intuition regarding this situation, follow your North Star. I feel like what this is saying is this was destiny. You were supposed to meet this person. This was supposed to happen. It's time. You're mature enough to handle it. And then it has like the over the lovers. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? So the Emperor is deciding, like, am I going to make this decision? And look at on this temptation. It's saying, no, you deserve, the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. This is actually moving forward. So it might be that you've made a decision. Yeah, I'm going to get married and I'm going to have a family. That's what I'm going to do. And this is after something may have happened and you went through the dark night of the soul. And that type of energy, it's the dark night of the soul is when you get really shaken up by something and you realize that you want to make a change of some sort. And the hermit goes up to the top of the mountain and he takes his lantern, and when it's full of the light of the North Star, then he takes action, comes down from the mountain and takes action from what he learned with conferring with God through meditation and prayer. And then we have the moon energy, and like that's tonight. We have a full moon in Scorpio tonight. So this Capricorn energy, it's talking about reckless abandon, as in W-R-E-C-K, saying freedom is actually discipline of the mind. So if you are in this energy and you think this is what you want, then you know, this discipline of the mind, it's talking about the justice would be like that the wheel's turning in your favor and you go and you decide, okay, I'm going to go in this direction. This is very different for you. So it's like, but this is an upgrade. When the Wheel of Fortune comes in, it's an upgrade. And what's interesting is all of these cards here are vertical cards. And in my oracle, when the cards are vertical, it's talking about strong energy. The maestros are coming in with their advice. This would be like the major arcana. the cards that are horizontal are talking about weaknesses or the medicine for the weaknesses kind of energy. So this is talking about karma, and the justice is about karma coming through. Now, a lot of people feel like karma is punishment, but karma is actually cause and effect from your actions or inactions. And so that's what it's saying. Like, if you're ever going to decide to get married and have children, why not now? Like, it's that type of energy, cause and effect. The other, and someone could be pregnant here, that's also coming up. But the energy also is talking about redemption from karma. So you can have direct karma directly from your actions. You can have indirect karma from your leftover energy from your ancestors. And like, this was, maybe your dad was like this, and it's kind of how that, like, it's just the way it is. Like, it's in your family, and it's been being passed down from generation to generation of not being able to settle down with one woman or one man, and that kind of energy, not wanting to do that, not really wanting to have the family energy because you're busy doing what you're doing. And so that could be a generational curse that you're breaking, so that you could have the choice to do either or, that you're not saying, oh, well, this is the way that I have to be, just like my dad. So this is worldly and otherworldly desires in your daily life. And so this is talking about addressing your spiritual needs as well as your physical needs. So this is talking about going after your authentic desires, because if you don't, and you stay in this energy for the rest of your life, and you don't do this, I feel like it's like saying you're kind of the results could be very anticlimactic, because you back in the back of your head, you'll be wondering, man, I should have done that, So we have the Chariot, the power of spin. On the spiritual realm, it's saying this change is already taking place, and it's happening. There's an energy of degradation of energy. Okay, so this could be, maybe you're getting tired of being like in that competitive romantic world, and you're really thinking, maybe I really do want to settle down. We have the Cancer energy. This moon energy is coming up again. So this is talking about, the moon, like when there's a full moon, it's a very, the energy is very, of the emotions can be really intense. And this is a Scorpio moon, so they're extra intense. It's that very intense energy. And I feel like it's saying engaged versus entrenched in your energy. So this is, again, warning though, that make sure this isn't an impulsive decision that you make, that you really take your time to make it through. But like, it's saying that there is some sort of energy shifting. Make sure you use your intuition here. Don't just use your logic, combine the two so that you have creative solutions around this energy. Falling and failing in love is a matter of I. So this is talking about the heart chakra being opened, and maybe this energy here, when you cut those binds, like you may have thought of a relationship with just one person as being very confining, and that might be a limiting belief that you have about yourself. And maybe now it's kind of like, no, I can see the possibilities of this being like really exciting in a different way, because it's something new for me. That type of energy, really, really interesting, the dynamics here. So this is talking about surrender, and and I feel like what it's saying is, you can, it's a psychic cleanse basically, and sometimes this can represent an energy coming in of your ancestors, and I'm picking that up, is like, maybe your father and your grandfather and your great-grandfather, that paternal line has always been kind of in this this more free energy. And this would be something like different for like, because I feel like the difference is that if you intend to do this, then you want to do it right. It's that kind of energy. And so it could be, you know, a lot of times different cultures have different ways of doing things. And so it could be culturally acceptable in your culture, in your family, to have, you know, partners on the side. Like quite often in royal families, they have that type of energy where it's just a thing that happens and it's expected almost. But it may be that you want to do it differently. This is about having pride. Yeah, it's kind of like, I just am getting this energy that if you're going to do this, you want to be in it all the way or not at all. Like, that's the energy I'm picking up. And look at this. We have the Emperor here and the Empress here. Isn't that a funny reading, how that turned out? So that's confirming that you do feel like this is your Empress. And this energy is saying like you've matured to this point of the Emperor. You can control your, you know, your temptation side if you want to. Really, really interesting. This is like a mental struggle that's coming out here. Really, really good energy, Capricorn. I think this is, you know, you'll make the right decision. I do hope you've enjoyed this reading. It's really different. I like it. You know, putting the thought into it is really important, but it's just the way it comes out. It's kind of funny. Give it a like and comment if you've enjoyed it as well. Consider subscribing to the channel if you resonate, and I will be back with another reading for you soon. Sorry, little kitty.